I love being in Vietnam. I love living in Vietnam, and I don't want to leave here.
Yeah.
The American dream doesn't exist in America. It exists in Vietnam. Our pinnacle of international culture is McDonald's. And so we think we're everywhere because McDonald's is everywhere.
And Coke. Coca-Cola. We're in D1 on a Sunday for a Sunday session at East West Brewing Company. We're on Lee Chu Chung, one of the main streets in District 1. Lots of tourists, although we're all seen it.
Ốc gà nướng, ốc vịt lộn, ốc vịt sữa, trứng cút lộn, mất xào đây. Mất xào đây.
Hey, hello. Wait, no.
You don't get one.
I don't get a flower. Hello.
Hey guys, happy Women's Day.
Welcome to a proper Saigon Sunday session. We do these episodes, they come out every Sunday, but we don't always record them on a Sunday. Shh, don't tell people that. It's the magic of podcasting. We sometimes record them on another day. But we're here, let's go around. You can introduce yourself. Who's all here today for the Saigon Sunday session at East West Brewing Company?
As expected, I'm Adrie, Neil's wife. I'm here.
I'm Shelly, but my real name's Jun. My other nickname is Principessa.
I'm Will, and these are my friends.
Hi, my name's Misha. We're here today on Women's Day to talk about Women's Day in Vietnam and celebrate all of the lovely women in our lives and at the table and all around Vietnam and all around the world.
Follow that up. Hi, I'm James.
So yeah, this is the Saigon Sunday sessions of a Vietnam podcast. Remember, turn on notifications, follow, subscribe, like, do all that stuff. Also
Smash all the buttons.
Go to smash all the buttons. Go to patreon.com/a Vietnam podcast. Saigon Sunday sessions is a bit more of a casual catch-up. We have James Hunt/Jalokia here, who is, depending on when you're watching this, may or may not have already appeared on a Vietnam podcast. Misha's been on several times. Adrie's appeared several times. Several.
All of them.
And you guys, your first time on a Vietnam podcast. So we're going to talk about International Women's Day. Show off your... Vietnam. Oh, it's not international. It's Vietnam Women's Day, right? So I'm gonna hand this to you guys to discuss. Tell us, what is Vietnam Women's Day?
What? I think it has something with the history about women sacrifice their husbands and sons toward and themselves fighting.
Darker than I thought.
Yeah, pretty much. Our national songs is about war. No. Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize it was because women sacrifice their sons. You're looking up to. He's fact checking you right now. He's fact checking you.
Learn something here.
I was told there would be no fact checking.
No live fact checking.
We were promised we could lie with impunity.
It was created October 20th, 1930, when the Vietnamese women, supported by Communist Party of Vietnam, united against the imperialism that formed an organization that was later known as the Vietnam Women's Union. It's just to honor women by the Communist Party, I guess.
Nice. Congratulations on being a woman. You got free flowers
I
from
was
it?
genuinely not trying to fact check. I just wanted to know.
But so is this the reason why Vietnam has a Women's Day and there is an international one? Why is there also an international one? Or Vietnam just was like, well,
Why can't Vietnam have nice things?
no, I know, just having we're going to have an extra day for women. That's awesome. But what do you think of Women's Day?
It was very nice. All women get their presents and gift from the loving. Yeah, that's it.
What is this?
Has Will given you anything today?
Not yet.
He's thinking about it. He's thinking about what to get.
It's gonna happen in 2 hours.
What?
Are the flowers from the do they get
Oh yeah, these are from East West.
What?
Mine
You bought the
says
flowers.
never settle.
Do they have hashtag feminism on them?
But I had to settle for a
Never settle, and then you were like, too late.
sad dying rose. It also says stay fabulous.
Hashtag stay fabulous. Hashtag
And we got a free beer.
Hashtag women.
And
Stay strong.
Hashtag stay strong. Love it.
I wonder if ChatGPT came up with those phrases. Hey ChatGPT, give me 10 phrases for International Women's Day.
Vietnamese Women's
Sorry,
Day.
Women's Day. Sorry. This rose is dying as well. I think these are from last year. So what do you think of Vietnam Women's Day?
I don't really have much thought about it.
Well, as a woman, do you feel like it's a good thing, a bad thing, indifferent? Like, because I know people make jokes. Will's already made the classic joke. Every day is Women's Day, but like, is that a good thing for women? Is it like condescending? Is it positive? Like, I don't know the answer. So.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. But like, there's a day for everything, right? There's Children's Day, there's Sibling Day, there's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day.
When I lived in Korea, I used to joke that like there was a festival for everything. There's a water festival, lantern festival, fucking everything festival. I was driving down Winterman Kai one day, and I forget the name, but it was this like big chain grocery store, and they had these big standees outside with these plastic bottles. Water bottles ostensibly, in all different colors, and it was Colorful Bottle Festival. Get the fuck out of here. Literally a festival for anything. Colorful Plastic Bottle Festival. Let's fucking go.
And you know that was big, colourful plastic bottle industry that came up.
Yeah.
We've got to create a day.
Well, I feel like plastic's been like under attack for a long time now. They're coming back with it. No, we're colorful. We're fun. We have a festival. Plastic's cool again. Hey, make plastic great again.
It was recently National Podcasting Day.
Oh yeah.
And so I did an episode with just some like random facts about podcasting, and then
Did
somebody
that one get a lot of listens?
I got as much as always, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody commented though when I shared it. I don't know if you guys saw it. One of the groups here, I shared it. And he was like, there's a day for everything, same thing, like National Idiot Day or something like that. And I think he was taking a bit of a jibe at me, but I was just saying to Adrie on the way here, like if you say something negative, I'll just come back with something positive. Like somebody posted one of my videos saying like, oh, the editing's really bad. And I was like, oh, thank you for the feedback. Do you have any specifics? And they did have some specific feedback, which was very valuable. And I was like, cool. You can turn it from like someone trying to be a troll to actually like, thank you for your feedback. So same thing, he posted National Idiot Day or something like that. So I googled it, and there literally is like a National Idiot Day or something similar. There is a day for everything. So but does that diminish Women's Day then?
Well, to go back to your original question, do we feel like condescending to? I don't think so. I think
Liz doesn't like to eat.
celebrate women every day, but also have a special day that we can enjoy it. I mean, I appreciate free stuff. I'm not complaining about the free beer I got or the free little croissant things I got at the coffee shop this morning. Like, I'm sure some people might feel different, but I didn't know that there was history behind the day, which I think is cool. I did kind of think it was made up and just a reason to...
Like everything is.
Yeah.
Like flour?
Yeah, like...
I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I'm so happy I read about Vietnamese Women's Day, and I messaged my girlfriend, Happy Women's Day, and she was like, oh, is it? Guess she wasn't waiting for it all year.
Did you know it was Women's Day today?
I didn't expect it.
And didn't expect it?
Yeah.
But you know when it is, what day it is, when it's coming around?
Yeah.
Or do you get reminded
Yeah, but
by
mostly
something?
like from other people, like, not myself.
Yeah, it's not in your calendar, like you're waiting
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, to be fair, all the like restaurants and shops have like specials and deals.
To get you in.
Yeah, to get you in. So they are exploiting it a bit. But again, we didn't come here because we were getting a free beer, and it was a nice surprise.
It's kind of weird though. It feels like it's more frequent than it actually is here.
Because there's the international as well.
Yeah, but
So
it
every
feels
6
like
months.
there's more than 2 a year. In Vietnam. Like I know there isn't,
Yeah.
but it feels like
Yeah.
We also have National Teacher Day here,
White Day, there's
and a lot of women
Yeah.
are teachers.
there's every day. So speaking of, I just looked up National Days of October 20th. There's a day for everything.
Which is today.
So it's today is World Toy Camera Day.
I like that one. I'm okay with that.
It's also
Toy Camera Day.
yeah. It's also National Youth Confidence Day.
Tell all
So
the youths to be confident.
yeah, all those kids who are listening to Neil's podcast, be confident. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. And then it's also Sunday School Teacher Appreciation Day For all the Christians out there.
I have no appreciation for my Sunday school teachers. I don't even remember them. What, they're trying to brainwash you? Sunday school teachers alluding to the brainwashing.
For Vietnamese is November 20th.
That's the job.
I was there.
Indoctrinate you from a young age.
Teacher appreciation.
Wow, this is actually fantastic.
That you're in Sunday school because your parents put you there, not because the teacher wants you
All
there.
of the above.
How to celebrate October 20th? Sorry.
Doesn't say free flow.
Narrator voice. No, it doesn't say anything about free flow beers. No. You wake up knowing there's a special energy in the air. Start your day with a morning run or walk to embody vitality. Capture moments with a toy camera. Embracing simplicity and creativity. Reflect on your journey and boost your confidence on National Youth Confidence Day. Show appreciation for those who educate and inspire on Sunday School Teacher Appreciation Day. Rock a pair of suspenders and feel dapper while sharing your love for the written word on National Day on Writing. Focus on bone health and join a community exercise class to honor World Osteoporosis Day. There's more. It keeps going. I swear to God, I'm not reading anymore.
So the youth.
National Youth Confidence Day.
You know what's great is I didn't drive today because I knew we were drinking beer, so I was like, I'll take a drive, as responsible adults should do. But I have a toy camera on my keychain. Trixie, Trixie from
I don't think
Updog and
I don't know if we got that on the pod, so let me just repeat what Will
She
asked.
bought me a toy camera for my keychain.
30 years from now, does National Youth Confidence Day turn into National Midlife Crisis Day? I don't think that's how holidays work.
We should celebrate Toy Camera Day.
They don't mature at the same way that we do. They kind of stay. It's like Christmas is still for kids, even though we're not kids anymore.
It's how to build the youth confidence.
With your little,
Have a toy
when
camera.
do you stop celebrating being a youth?
You stop celebrating being a youth when you're not a
youth.
youth.
You have to stop.
Your question is not answerable because young people don't celebrate being young. They should. Enjoy your youth. Have some confidence. Enjoy your youth while you can, while you have it. We were talking about that yesterday, actually, at brunch. Like, we all, I'm sure, all of us still feel like relatively young at heart.
Yeah.
But our bodies are betraying us. One joint at a time.
Our bodies.
Well, that then leads into osteoporosis.
That's the weave, folks. Just bring it all back together.
We're on a Sunday, we're on a session, we're on the free flow East West. I'm here with James Hunt or James Jalokia. Which one do you prefer?
Hunt. It's my real name. Yeah.
We'll go his real name, James Hunt, or James Jalokia, as maybe many people know him on Facebook. Does amazing sandwiches, does amazing chicken wings. I can't even say it. Chicken wings. How big are your chicken wings?
One wing, 2 pieces.
What does that mean exactly? So we're having a debate about chicken wings. What is one?
So on a menu, as an American, we say 6 wings. It's 6 pieces. It's the drum and it's the flat.
3 drums, 3
3 drums, 3 flats.
But some
is
people
6
would call
wings,
that 12 wings.
and some people call that 3 wings. 3 whole wings,
Yeah.
6 pieces. No, so you got the drum, right? You got the drum that looks like a leg, just the tip,
Yeah.
and then you got the flat that's got the 2 bones in it. That's a full wing.
Never knew this was a topic.
Yeah, the full wing.
We never knew this was a topic for debate.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same bone structure we have, right? We've got our drum, we've got our flats. But
So if you didn't know already, Sunday sessions are a bit more of a casual catch-up episode where we just chat about random things. We often are having a beer, not always, but seems like often. I actually think every episode we've done of the Saigon Sunday sessions, we've been drinking alcohol, which actually it's one of my podcast rules is not to pod and drink.
oh, really?
When I'm doing a normal episode of a Vietnam podcast, I think one time I had 1 beer and it made it really difficult to because I think we talked about this. So when I do the regular episodes that come out once a week, you've got to active listen, you've got to think of what the next question is. Often, like, the guest, which you've done, will be answering, and in my head I'm thinking, right, how do I tie this in, or what's the next question, or which direction?
You just gotta weave it back.
In?
You just gotta weave.
Yeah.
It's a weave.
And so I don't think Misha doesn't know he's not on camera.
It's a weave. You gotta weave it.
No, it's real.
Love it or weave it.
I've lost my train of thought. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
I don't drink.
derailed.
This is why I don't drink in pod. So when we do the normal podcast, I normally stay sober because I'll lose my track of thought. But this might happen. But lose what? Did I say it wrong?
The track of thought.
What should I say? Train of thought. Well, lose my train of thought. Lose my track, lose my train of thought. This is only the start of the free flow as well.
Yeah.
We're a few beers in.
We have 1 more hour.
Oh, we only have 1 more hour left? Oh
Yeah.
man, it went quick.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the food, but the beer is great. But one thing we want to talk about, so I just did an interview with Tyler Morris-Coy, Alibi partner and friend of James, and I was shocked, absolutely shocked, that he as an American pretended to be Canadian when he went to Australia and pretended to be Canadian for a long time. Until
Why would that
somebody
shock you?
called him out. And as Mischa has said many times before, he is the politest American, but also the rudest Canadian. Is that what it is? Did I
That's
get
correct,
That?
yeah.
That's correct, right?
Same
And
level.
so I just mentioned to James what Tyler told me, and James told me
That I did pretend to be a Canadian when I came to Vietnam.
it's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's so terrible.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, yeah, so it started with me because I was in the Philippines with my buddy Josh, my best friend in the world. I was coming on my photo tour, and I was just gonna take photos through Southeast Asia.
You were what on your photo tour?
I had just come out to Asia to do a 6-month photo tour.
Right.
So I was going to be going. I was going to start in Cambodia, and then Laos and everything. I actually didn't have it. I told you this. I didn't have any intention of coming to Vietnam in the first place. But my buddy was like, "Hey, I've never been to the Philippines. Let's meet up there, and we'll party in the Philippines for a few weeks, and then you can go to Vietnam." I was like, "Yeah, let's do this."
That's the Miley Cyrus song, right? Party in the Philippines.
Is that
Is it not?
I could probably not tell you one Miley Cyrus
He's
song.
like, looking at you like, it's party in the USA, right? Yeah. Party in the Philippines.
See, I know that song. I didn't know that was Miley Cyrus. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I only found out recently because one of the lyrics is something about landing in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and they're saying that has to be the song for the LA Olympics.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
perfect. What's the lyric again?
Weave it back! Weave it back!
LAX
That's it.
with my dream and my cardigan.
Yeah, party in the USA. There you go. So that's going to be the song of the Olympics. So anyway, you were partying in the Philippines.
So I was partying in the Philippines.
Yeah.
We went to a small island in the Philippines called Siquijor, which is to date one of my favorite places in the world. This place is phenomenal. Everything about it. It's got it's witchcraft, right? It's got witch doctors. It's just the people are the nicest people.
Yeah.
It's got great diving, great snorkeling. I was there partying with my buddy, and yeah, just living it up, you know. And
Just got party in the USA in my head now. Every
And
time you say party.
you need to break like copyright rules and put that on the video. But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll get cancelled.
Yeah.
Well, like literally, we'll get taken down, unfortunately.
So we're partying with these guys next to us. I rented a bungalow, and the way the pictures made it look was a 2-room bungalow. Turns out it was a 1-bed bungalow that I'd rented with my best friend. So we're supposed to sleep on the same bed. That's a different story.
Tops and tails.
He ended up, apparently I'm a spooner, and he ended up in the middle of the night going to get a cot. I think I ended up sleeping on the cot. Anyway, that's a whole different story.
Say cot or cop?
A cot, like
Oh.
a bed, like a metal framed bed. He could not handle my spooning, I guess. I don't know what it was. But he ended up getting a little bed. Anyway, we were partying with these guys next to us. I don't remember where they're from. They're from somewhere in Western Europe. I don't remember which country, and I would be lying if I even guessed. But we're talking to these guys. We're having a good time. We're drinking Tandui, the rum that we were talking about earlier. Just having a great time. And this guy's like, "Well, where are you guys from?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm from the U.S. You know, from Texas. We're from Texas." And the dude was like, "Get the fuck out of here! Get out of here!" And I was like, I thought he was kidding. I was like, "What?
I thought people
It's so
only
funny.
said
I
that to
get
English
it."
people?
No, well, I mean, they should, but but man, I thought he was kidding, and I was like, okay, like, ha ha ha, that's funny, whatever. And he was like, "No, get out of here. I don't want to talk to you anymore."
Why?
Whatever. I still don't. There was no explanation. He was just like, "Get out of here."
But so we did the episode. It's actually just come out today, but we're recording this. But if you go check out the episode I just did with Adrie, and we were talking about life in Vietnam as an American. And as we were discussing it, I said to Adrie, like, do you realise how much, I mean, I was being a bit of a dick, but I was like, do you know how much Americans are hated around the world? And I know they're not hated, but they are. I mean, this is a perfect example. I think my reasoning was American foreign policy. Like, not American people. I think American people are great. I think around the world there is a dislike towards Americans because of the government's foreign policy in starting wars and blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, and you know, like there are so most Americans I know are in line with that. Like, we don't want this. We don't want what's happening, you know?
That's why I think American people are awesome.
Yeah. And we do get a bad rap, and it's understandable. Living abroad, it's understandable that we do get the hate. And so when I got to Vietnam, I didn't tell anybody I was American. I was like, oh yeah, I'm Canadian. And, you know, I told especially foreigners, you know, because foreigners get more mad. Then one of the guys at the hotel saw my passport. He was like, that's a U.S. passport. And I was like, meh. And he was like, oh, I love America. And then it switched gears. It was like completely turned around. I was like, oh, I guess I'm American then. And then like I tell people, I still like I don't talk to foreigners about it, but Vietnamese, like they're cool with everything because they're cool with everybody, you know. But
right, I mean, I said the same thing to Tyler. Like, it's insane to say you're from a different country. Like, I would never say. Well, we joked about it. Like, France is across the river from us or the water from us. I would never be like, bonjour, je suis français. Like,
yeah. Well, to be fair, like not even English people can understand your accent. Yeah, like Scottish. What did you just say? Scottish.
Yeah.
Like we don't. I don't know. I still don't know where you're from. You're Irish, right?
But like, how did that feel as an American to say that I'm from another country? Like, I'm from Canada.
I don't care. It's not like a pride thing. Like,
yeah. You have.
I'm not a nationalist. I'm just a person. You know, like.
I wanted to get Mischs to kind of talk about being a Canadian.
You want me to talk?
You're Canadian, eh?
What do you think about Americans pretending to be Canadian because Canadians have a better reputation, essentially?
I think it's hilarious because every American I've ever met abroad thinks that just the word Canada is a punchline. That when they hear I'm Canadian, they just start laughing. Oh, Canada! Like, what
about that, eh?
Yeah, Canada's toilet is what we call you guys. No, I think it's fucking hilarious and desperate and pathetic.
Have you ever met?
Not James personally.
I mean, I took it personally.
Well, Tyler told the story that he pretended to be Canadian, and then someone heard his accent, and they were like, "No, you're American."
No, it's a known thing
in Canada.
Tyler can
in
sound
Canada that Americans
Canadian.
like would sew a Canadian flag on their backpack if they're going abroad. Yeah, no.
That was the whole, yeah. Somebody I know was very upset about me coming out here, and you're gonna get kidnapped, you're gonna get killed, and it was very like snowballed from nothing kind of thing. And obviously I knew that wasn't factual, but I also did feel like I was under pressure to not tell people that I am from the U.S. So I did have the patch. I did have the Canadian patch, and I did. Yeah. I didn't do the boot and the A and sorry.
You should apologize more.
You should apologize more.
I apologize
What
enough.
What Canadian are you?
No, so I had American friends when I was living in Korea, whose like relatives who they didn't know very well would like found out they were in Korea. I was like, oh, thank you for your service. It was like that war ended a long time ago. We're not here to fight.
So that's another thing. The war, right?
We're
so
teaching
I don't know
them
if
how
you
to
guys
speak
know
English
that
badly.
Vietnam and the U.S. kind of, we had an argument at one point. And so I thought, you know,
who won the argument?
I was about to say who won. I was about to say the same thing. Who won? I think it was a draw. Americans say.
Oh no!
is
Most
that what Americans
are like,
say?
oh, we actually won, but, and it's like if you have to say but, we didn't win. We didn't win. There's no win about that. Vietnam has
Nobody won that thing.
nobody. No, Vietnam won for sure.
no, Vietnam.
They lost a lot. But they won that war hands down.
Let's press Beluski said in the wire. Nobody wins. There's one side loses more slowly.
Okay.
Really dark.
Okay. Yeah.
True.
Okay.
And he was talking about college football, not an actual war.
Like real football or soccer?
Well, it was a metaphor for the drug war in America anyway.
So as far as the war goes, right, I get more hate from Americans who find out that I live in Vietnam than Vietnamese. Like Vietnamese are like super cool. Oh, we love you, you know, blah, 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 blah. And Americans are like, oh, you red commie pig. And I'm like, sorry, I said I like green better than blue. You know, like, my bad. It's insane.
That is amazing.
So I got a funny story about that. I was at this bar one time, and there was this old couple down the way, and it was just the three of us were the only customers, and they were older. It was pre-COVID when tourism was a thing, and I heard them. They were I don't remember if they were Kiwi or Aussie. It's not really relevant to the story, but we got to talking to each other, and they were like, they found out I was from Canada, and they're like, oh, like, do like Vietnamese people hate Americans? And I was just confused by the question. I'm like, what? No, like especially here in Saigon, like Vietnamese love any tourists who come. Like tourists get treated really well here, and like, you know, if you're in a bad neighborhood, you might get ripped off or whatever. But like, you know, for the most part, like, they're just, if you have money in your pocket to spend, like, they want to talk to you and they want to sell you shit. And I was just so confused by the question. Then they're like, oh yeah, we went to the War Museum this afternoon. I'm like, oh, right. Because, you know, the first floor is just all the anti-American propaganda, and then the floors get increasingly tragic as you go up.
You've been there, right? It's an amazing museum, though. I learned more from that museum.
I left. I think I got to the third floor, and I'm like, I don't want to see this.
Every time
I went to the Holocaust Museum in Israel. Like, no matter how good it is, it's just like, it's really sad and depressing. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Well, but that's what a museum does, right? It gives you emotions, and that's what a good museum does.
Same as the Vietnam Zoo, the Saigon Zoo.
Well, I mean, I've never been there, but
don't go. It's the third most depressing place I've ever been in. Oh my god!
Because I want to save those animals.
The healthiest animal at the Saigon Zoo was the rat scurrying past the tiger cage. It was bad. There were like Korean tourists throwing shit into the alligator pit because some alligator was like bleeding out. It was fucking. A girl took me there on a date. We didn't have a second one. I think that's why it was rough.
Not high on the list.
I've not been there. I will not go there because I hear about this stuff, and I mean,
you're an animal.
No, yeah, all the animals look like sickly, and it's bad.
Kind of my thing is kind of like, I keep spitting.
James is gonna tell us what his thing is. Wait.
Oh, I thought you were.
I mean, my whole thing is like saving the animals, and if I go to that zoo, I know I'm going to be depressed because I've heard such bad things about it.
It's depressing.
But I mean, I cannot believe you put Canadian patch on your bag.
Oh, we're going back to this.
I think partly like being Scottish, most people like Scotland, so I would never think to do that. I wonder if English people.
Most people don't think about Scotland.
We are given this national pride our entire lives. We're pummeled with red, white, and blue. We're pummeled with propaganda. We're pummeled with this. Am I wrong? We're given this like that we are the best. We're number one, the greatest country in the world.
So coming to Vietnam is when you realize that you can embrace your Americanness.
I mean, not embrace, but admit.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, yeah, I'm from the States. I'm from Texas.
So this is similar to what I said on the. You haven't seen it because it's just been released today, but not that you have to see it. But when we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, it was that I was scared to admit I was American in Vietnam based off of a lot of what I knew and going to the War Museum. And
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised when every interaction I had with Vietnamese people was supremely positive.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by you're proven wrong in terms of like you were scared to say you're American, and then you got here and you had the opposite reaction, I guess. And even with you might get a little bit of negativity from maybe travelers or expats or whatever. But generally, I don't think once people get to know you or once they start to talk to you, they're like, hey, Americans are cool.
Well, and once they get to know me, they don't like me because of who I am, not because I'm American, you know? Where I was going with the whole red, white, and blue, right? And the national anthem, like we're under this impression that we are the pillars of the world.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, everything stands on our shoulders. That's what we're taught in school, you know? Proud to be an American. Do you remember singing that in school?
Yeah. Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah. Every day. And we're you know, everyone talks about other countries. I'm not going to say which ones in particular that are like, oh, this is, you know, we are the best or whatever. America's the worst at that. we're under the impression that people care, and people don't care. You know, we're under the impression that people are looking at me like, oh, that's an American guy. Nobody gives a fuck.
When you do leave, you have a lot of preconceived notions that are almost immediately like, not what you thought they were going to be.
Well, I think one of the things is that, I think you just mentioned it, not many Americans travel.
Right.
That's just a fact. Like,
we go to
Americans,
Mexico.
But you've got the lowest rate, I think, of passports in the world.
You can do a lot worse than going to Canada.
You know what I remember from Canada is they have good ice cream.
That's it.
That's all I
Good
remember.
Poutine.
Yeah. I've never had poutine. I've never had it.
Never had poutine either, we've had.
Well, I don't want to try it outside of Canada because I want the real thing
That's
first.
like me coming to your restaurant and not having wings because I don't want to have wings outside of Buffalo. It's a ridiculous argument.
No. He's saying for the first time.
Yeah, right.
You've had buffalo wings before.
Yeah, but not in Buffalo. In New York.
I mean, buffalo wings are buffalo wings. To be honest, everyone's like, what's the best wing in town? Like, wings are wings. And I'm saying this as...
Well, most people are like, how many wings are in a wing?
It's not the wing, it's the sauce.
Yeah, it's a fucking...
Well, Frank's Red Hot. That's a buffalo wing, right?
Yeah.
But there are better wings out there than... Sorry, Buffalo.
No, as you guys were saying, so I obviously have lived in America, so I've seen that, like, we are number one. And what I was going to say is America...
Especially Texas. I mean,
Yeah,
Texas
we're
is like...
our own-
We're not like we're the best. We're the best of the best. Yeah.
Can I say something that we don't have to clip out?
Go on.
So I heard an interesting anecdote the other day about the whole "Don't mess with Texas."
Yeah.
That started as an anti-littering campaign.
Yeah.
And then it just became this big.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Texas.
Yeah.
I think about this often in Vietnam. They should start a "Don't Mess with Vietnam" campaign.
Do you know where that became famous? Don't mess with Texas. Do you know how that became famous?
She
Like
knows.
specifically where? Or
Specifically, what point made that like a more international thing? Pee Wee.
Oh, really?
Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee. What's the Pee Wee's Big Adventure? You know the Alamo, right?
Gun battle, right?
The Alamo.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
How big is the Alamo? How big do you think? Do you think this room is?
Square feet.
What?
15 square feet.
15 square feet.
It was raining.
You're closer than most people would guess.
We done the river walk and then we started raining, right?
It's tiny. It's tiny. It's not 50. Do you know who owns the Alamo? The museum in the Alamo?
Donald Trump.
No.
Oh.
He doesn't own everything, nor does he own anything.
Ted Cruz.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins owns the Alamo. Wow.
He owns the Alamo?
He
He's just
owns the
in there every
museum.
night doing
The
the drums.
museum. He owns the museum. Yeah. He's a big fan of the Alamo. It's a tiny place. The Riverwalk is okay. I used to live there, so I would walk my dog on the Riverwalk every day.
I love the Riverwalk so much.
It's okay. It's muy bien, but not as
It's not Bolivian. We did the river
it's
walk.
touristy. It's expensive for food that's not great.
You guys are going to talk?
Are we gonna talk Texas?
We're talking Texas.
Yeah.
I love the Alamo, not the Alamo.
The Riverwalk. Remember the Alamo,
I
sir.
love the Riverwalk because for me it holds childhood memories. So every year my dad had a conference in San Antonio and we would come down from Dallas for a weekend.
Yeah.
And we would shop at the mall at the end of the Riverwalk.
Yeah,
and we would stay on the Riverwalk and we would...
What is that mall called?
I don't know, but I think it closed.
Maybe.
Mall of America.
Isn't that in like Chicago, Minnesota or something?
Yeah, so even when we go now, or the last time we were there, I was like, this is so cheesy, so touristy, but I still love it. Because it's just nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
Because I have cousins that live in, one of my cousins lives in suburban San Antonio. San Antonio is so sprawled now, I actually don't know where she lives, but it's like 45 minutes away and it's still considered like
San Antonio's big.
Yeah.
It's big, you know, like
Is Texas not eventually just going to all merge into
Yeah.
one? Like,
it's where it
was
seems
Dallas
like
and
it's.
it was Fort Worth and then it was Dallas, Fort Worth.
You had
Austin and
like
San
Coppell, what is it,
Antonio.
Coppell? You
Yeah.
had like your small inner
You have all
city.
these like little towns and now it's just like Dallas, Fort Worth. Soon it's gonna be DFWA.
But that's not Texas, that's like
Dallas,
Yankee,
Fort Worth,
Texas.
Austin.
It's like New York
San
City.
Antonio.
San Antonio is amazing. I think it's an underrated city.
I've always thought as well.
I think it has great food. I think it has the best food in Texas.
Yes, food in San Antonio is amazing.
The music is great. Like people always think of Austin, which obviously is the music capital of the world. Again, America, San Antonio's got great music. You know, it's not 24 hours.
Especially now with Austin being overrun by Californians and Texans, New Yorkers, I think San Antonio will be more Texas than.
So with Austin, the problem with Austin is like it has two highways that run through it, right?
Yeah.
You've got Mopac and you've got 35. Then you've got 183 at the top, and I think 76 in the south central area. It's not set up for the infrastructure for a boom, right? Like there are thousands and millions of people coming in. It's not set up for that. Hey!
Hello. What's going to lose its charm? It's losing its charm, right? The reason that people move there is because it's got charm. And
Because it's
gonna
weird.
Lose that.
It's weird.
Yeah, well,
And
weird.
now San Antonio is weird because it's not Austin, and that's about it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place. Dallas is okay. Houston, I actually really like Houston.
I've never spent enough time in
No?
Houston. It's always been like
I hated it for a long
There's
time.
always been a Houston-Dallas divide. I'm from Dallas, so I've always hated Houston.
I mean, has there not been a
For no
Dallas-Texas
reason.
divide? It's been Dallas against the rest of Texas.
Maybe, but I never felt that.
Who's the best football team? NFL.
Cowboys.
You see? Wrong. Wrong.
I was
Wrong.
born and raised in Dallas. I got Dallas pride. So when you said earlier, it's like Americans are taught to be the best of the world, and then Texans are taught to be the best of the country. And then Dallas, when I grew up in the fucking 90s, we were taught that we were the best of the best of the best with the Cowboys of the 90s era. I know we're not that anymore. I know.
You know I'm a Buffalo
I've lived
Bills fan,
it,
right?
But
You know that two of
I
the
think
Super
we
Bowls in a
have
row.
maybe talked about this
Two of those
before.
Super Bowls in a row. This is like
we
the
killed
rooting.
you.
This is the rooting of my hatred for Dallas. Dallas Stars.
Cowboys beat the
Cowboys
Bears.
beat the
Yes.
and the Dallas
In
Stars
two.
beat the Buffalo Sabres in the Stanley Cup. The next year,
In the 90s.
in the 1990, I think it was 95. I could be mistaken. YouTube's going to tell me if I'm mistaken.
No, but for a long time though, there was a lot. You go places, I go places. I'm from Dallas, and they'd be like, "Oh, who shot JR?" And I'd be like, "I don't really know what you're talking about." But what you were saying about it being, everyone thought Dallas was big, rich, big hair, big personalities, big gallon hats. That still is Dallas. It's always been
And that's
like
why the
that.
rest of Texas hates Dallas.
And I didn't realize like this. I was just saying this to Neil. Like when I moved away and then I came back, love where I'm from. Could never go back there. Like
Same. Well, honestly, the U.S. as a whole.
I mean, that's the thing is like I love that I grew up there and I love my memories and my experiences. It's so hard to think about ever returning to Dallas.
Yeah.
To Texas, to the U.S.
For so many reasons. Like, it's not, honestly, like, it's not even the political divide, which is a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
There's a huge political divide. Everybody wants to know who you're voting for before they want to find out if they want to be friends with you. Nobody wants to be your friend. They want to know who you're voting for.
Yeah. Gun culture.
Gun culture, well, I mean, that's a whole different thing. I grew up with guns.
Yeah, but not the culture. Sorry.
No, I mean, we're on the same page.
The gun problem.
Yeah. 100% huge problem. And my point is, like, it happens way too much to not be considered an issue, you know? I shot my first gun when I was 2 years old.
Daily, they're like, hey,
Yeah.
another shooting.
You
in
can
the
go
news.
buy a head of lettuce and an AR-15, you know, like a Winchester 22. Like, you can go buy a gun next to your groceries. I grew up with guns. I'm a gun owner. I'm not now, but I have been. I've owned guns for a long time. My first gun I got when I was 12 years old. And honestly, take them all.
Yeah.
Take them away. I don't care. There's an issue that is not being addressed.
And that's what happened in like Australia, New Zealand, maybe Australia I'm thinking of, like when they had their first, or maybe not first, but their biggest mass shooting in the 80s, I think it was.
All right, you ready?
That's exactly that. The attitude was like, of the population was like, we appreciate having guns, but we don't want this to happen again.
Yeah.
Take them.
Yeah.
And the problem with America is exactly the opposite.
We've got our
You
rights,
will,
right?
You will
Like-
allow this to keep happening so that we can bear our arms. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And that's not what the
Bear our
Constitution says. The Constitution says
We can bear wings.
our wings. We have the right to bear wings. The Constitution says that we have a right to a militia,
Yeah.
an organized militia, and everyone's
Second
like,
Amendment says that buffalo wings are the best.
only from Brick and Barrel. I
You need
love the
another
U.S.
beer.
I do. I love the U.S.
I know,
I
and-
love it. I love the people. I love the
miss it
landmarks.
so
I
much.
love the animals, the wildlife, everything. I love being in Vietnam. I love living in
Yeah,
Vietnam, and I
that's
don't
the
want to
thing.
leave it.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like,
I have more freedom here.
yeah.
How can you can't just open a restaurant in America for $1,000 and be successful?
Yeah.
The American dream doesn't exist in America. It exists in Vietnam. You know?
Don't tell the Americans that.
Edit this out.
We like you, but we don't like you that much.
Yeah, Bok Bok I started for $1,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, including all the kitchen equipment and everything, and it snowballed, and you can't do that in the U.S. You know?
We've talked. I mean, we're not small business owner. Well, Neil has.
Wait, what about me?
I mean, like brick and mortar shop, restaurant type of thing, business owner. But we've talked about that in terms of like,
gonna
how
take
much
it
capital
slow,
you really need to start a business here. Not a huge amount, which is amazing. And the red tape, I'm sure, right? It's like,
It depends. So I'm starting an
How are
NGO.
you
I was telling
feeling
Neil
about
about this before. I'm starting an NGO, and the red tape for that. So far, we've been working on it for months, and
that's quite different, though, right?
It's
From
so
a business.
different.
My point is that I think for a lot of people, Americans or otherwise, you have to get out of your culture to realize things that are different, right?
Oh, yeah,
there
of
is
course.
culture other than your own culture.
And it's unfortunate for Americans that usually it's like a bit of a rude awakening because you're.
Cancun is not another culture.
But I
So,
mean, like you.
That's
you
my experience. Outside of coming to Asia, Cancun is my experience. I was like, yeah, I've been to Mexico. Woo, I've been out of the country.
Yeah.
No, I went to a resort that I was drunk on Beefeater gin for a week. You know.
It's a very specific gym.
You're soaking up the
That was the
local,
only
soaking up
one
the
on the
local
free flow.
culture.
Because I still love Beefeater. I love Beefeater. I will.
Beefeater,
Endorse
if you
me.
want to sponsor this
Endorse me.
podcast, or Brick and Barrel.
The thing that we have is also like our pinnacle of international culture is McDonald's. And so we think we're everywhere because McDonald's is everywhere.
and Coke. Coca-Cola.
Yeah. That
That's
too.
Colombia, not America.
Colombia,
Coca-Cola.
endorse this.
Coca-Cola.
No, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and maybe Subway, because Subway has more outlets than McDonald's does.
Is that right?
This has been a Vietnam podcast, Saigon Sunday session, actually on a Sunday,
This
in a bar.
this is
with
Sunday right now.
With
Yeah.
a free flow.
This is a Sunday session.
You can or cannot hang out with Americans and Canadians if you want to or you don't want to. The free flow at East West is great.
Yes.
The brunch
355
Get the regular
355K
menu.
for 3 hours of free flow beers.
Come for the drinks.
They're all in thousands. Come for the beers.
Order off the regular menu.
The French fries are good.
Click that like button. Share and subscribe.
Like,
Smash all the
subscribe,
buttons.
Smash all the buttons.
Smash all the
Do all the
buttons.
things.
Do all the things that
All
you can do
the
on YouTube.
things.
It helps. It really does.
Yeah.
I've been told. I don't know.
Comment, good or bad.
Oh, comment, share. How about if you're enjoying this, share it with a friend of yours who you think might also enjoy it.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah. I mean,
Share and subscribe and like and click and smash all the buttons.
Be a Patreon.
Oh, hi, Bob. Oh, yeah.
Patreon. A
Sign up on
Patreon.
Patreon. You can be a Bob Sauer for free.
Saudi.
Bob Sauer.
Feels like I'm cutting this off.
Hột gà nướng, hột vịt lộn, hột vịt sữa, trứng cút lộn, bắp xào